Good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Buenos días a todos. Ustedes están en la comparecencia inicial en la sala menor del Tribunal de Primera Instancia del Condado de Clayton.
My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court.
Yo soy el juez Brad Gardner. Soy un juez en este tribunal.
I'm not here to conduct a trial of your case or to take a plea in your case.
No estoy aquí para llevar a cabo un juicio en su caso, tampoco para aceptar una declaración a acusaciones.
I am here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you,
Estoy acá para informarle de las acusaciones formuladas en su contra,
to advise you of certain rights,
también para informarle de ciertos derechos,
to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail,
para imponerles fianza para las acusaciones las cuales tengo la autorización de imponer fianza,
to schedule a preliminary hearing,
para programar su audiencia preliminar,
and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney.
y también determinaré si requiere la ayuda de un abogado de oficio.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing.
Tiene derecho a permanecer callado sin decir nada.
But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you if your case goes to trial.
Pero si eligen renunciar a ese derecho, cualquier cosa que diga se puede usar en su contra si el caso procede a juicio.
So please don't discuss the facts of your case.
Así que por favor les pido no hablen de los hechos de su caso.
During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights.
Durante esta audiencia y cualquier audiencia ulterior tendrán los siguientes derechos:
The right to the presumption of innocence,
el derecho a ser presuntos inocentes,
the right to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors,
el derecho a que se le emite una acusación formal por el gran jurado cuando se trate de delitos graves o que proceden en su contra con una acusación general cuando se trate de delitos menores.
the right to a speedy and public trial by jury,
El derecho a un juicio público y sin demora ante un jurado.
the right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you,
El derecho a ver, a escuchar y a contrainterrogar los testigos convocados a declarar en su contra.
the right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf,
El derecho a obligar que comparezcan testigos para que declaren a su favor.
the right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense,
El derecho de dar su propio testimonio o presentar pruebas en su propia defensa.
the right to have an attorney represent you.
El derecho a un abogado que los representa.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify.
Si no pudiera costear el servicio de un abogado, se le puede designar uno de oficio si cumple los requisitos.
Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail.
Algunos de ustedes tendrán la oportunidad de depositar fianza sin restricciones para salir en libertad de la cárcel.
These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property.
Estas fianzas se puede depositar utilizando dinero contado con una compañía de fianzas o poniendo de garantía un inmueble.
If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the bond and fees to the sheriff's office.
Si va a depositar su fianza en efectivo, alguien tendría que entregar el total de la fianza a la comisaría del sheriff, más las tarifas correspondientes.
The sheriff's office will hold the cash and return it at the end of the case.
La comisaría guardará el dinero y lo devolverá cuando se concluya el caso.
If you use a commercial bonding company, someone will have to pay a fee to the company for their service.
Si utiliza una compañía comercial de fianzas, alguien tendrá que pagar una tarifa de servicio.
The fee will not be returned.
Esa tarifa no se devuelve.
I don't know what fee will be charged, but it's usually based upon a percentage of the bond.
No sé cuál tarifa se cobrará, pero normalmente se basa en un porcentaje de la fianza.
Finally, if you use property to post a bond, the property will need to have a net equity at least 3 times the total amount of the bond.
Y la última opción, si va a utilizar un inmueble o propiedad para garantizar su fianza, tal propiedad tiene que contar con un patrimonio neto de por lo menos 3 veces el valor de la fianza.
Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places.
Algunos de ustedes tendrán condiciones especiales que conlleva la fianza, las cuales prohíbe que tenga contacto con ciertas personas o que vaya a ciertos lugares.
This special condition will be provided to you on a separate form.
A ustedes le entregará notificación de estas condiciones en otro formulario separado.
You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail.
También se les prohíbe contactar a la víctima mientras están detenidos en la cárcel.
If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial.
Si incumple esta orden judicial, su fianza quedará revocada y tendrá que esperar en la cárcel hasta que se concluya su juicio.
You could also receive additional felony charges.
También a consecuencia se le podría formular acusaciones mayores adicionales.
It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond.
Es importante, cabe notar, que si alguien figura como la víctima, en su caso, a esa persona no se le permite pagar la fianza.
Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail.
Algunos de ustedes tienen acusaciones las cuales yo como juez no tengo la autorización de imponerle fianza.
In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date.
Si este es su caso, se programará una audiencia para determinar fianza ante un juez de la Sala Superior del Condado de Clayton, y a usted le informaré de la fecha.
If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time.
Si actualmente está cumpliendo una condena de libertad condicional, no tengo la autorización de imponerles fianza en este momento.
Whether bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest.
Una vez que su agente de libertad condicional ha tenido la oportunidad de considerar las circunstancias de esa nueva acusación, ahí se determinará si una fianza es apropiado en este caso.
The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you.
La audiencia preliminar es para determinar si existe suficientes pruebas para sustentar las acusaciones en su contra.
The standard at this stage is very low.
El estándar de lo que hay que probar en esta etapa jurídico es muy bajo.
A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred.
Para que un juez determine en esta etapa jurídico que un caso o acusaciones siguen adelante, solamente tiene que determinar si es posible que se haya perpetrado el delito.
Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing.
Todos tienen el derecho a renunciar a tener la audiencia preliminar.
However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing.
Sin embargo, deberían de consultar primero con un abogado si no está seguro si le conviene renunciar a la audiencia preliminar o no.
If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived.
Si deposita fianza, la audiencia preliminar se renuncia automáticamente.
You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date.
Recibirá notificación de la próxima cita judicial en la dirección que deja registrado en la cárcel.
Lastly, I need everyone to raise your right hand, please.
Por último, necesito que todos levanten la mano derecha, por favor.
Do you swear or affirm that any statements you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Juran o afirman que cualquier cosa que digan durante esta audiencia será la verdad y toda la verdad ante Dios lo juran.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so what I have is that we have 4 individuals that we're going to do first who need to go back to the medical unit. We have 3 Spanish-speaking individuals that we're going to do next, and then we have the 2 individuals, Mr. Golden and Mr. Shepherd, that have hired attorneys, and we'll do those 3. They're all on the male side, and then we'll switch over to the lady side.
Entonces tengo entendido que hay 4 personas que van a pasar primero porque están en la sección de atención médica, luego 3 personas que son hispanohablantes. Luego vamos a tomar los casos de las personas que tienen abogados, hay 2. 2 son señores y luego podemos pasar con las señoras.
Okay, tell me your name, sir.
Renee Wheeler.
I'm sorry, Deputy, could you help me out?
It's Wheeler.
Renee Wheeler.
Okay,
Renee Austin Wheeler. Renee Antonio Wheeler. Renee Timmy Wheeler.
okay, Mr. Wheeler, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of simple assault. I've set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir? You said no?
I don't understand the charge.
You've been charged with 1 count of simple assault. Do you want me to read the allegation to you?
What is this date from last year? Is this the date?
Mr. Wheeler, would you like for me to read the allegation to you?
Tell me what it means. Is that what you're referring?
Okay, Mr. Wheeler, you're charged with simple assault, and the allegation is that on May 26th, that you went to Patricia Crenshaw's, let's see, that Miss Patricia Crenshaw accused you of murdering her friend's husband. At that point, you yelled to her multiple times, "I'll blow your head off, I'll kill you, I'll have someone come kill you." There are witnesses to this incident. The victim was placed in reasonable apprehension of immediately receiving a violent injury from you. The officer said he was able to detect the strong odor of alcoholic beverage coming from your person. So the officer could have charged you with terroristic threat, which is a felony, but the officer charged you with simple assault. That's the allegation against you, okay? That's all I know. That's all I know. He's muted. I can't hear Mr. Wheeler because he's muted.
I've heard back in last year, I had a court date coming here to attend, paying my bond, which was $1,000. This, that you're saying today, I haven't seen that person. I just got to South Fulton yesterday, and I haven't even made it to Clayton County without somebody transporting me on my identity. Somebody has stole my identity several times. I have reported it plenty of times. For me,
Mr. Wheeler,
sir, yes.
I can appoint you a lawyer to defend you if you like. Would you like me to appoint a lawyer to defend you against these charges?
These charges of false allegations.
Mr. Wheeler, Mr. Wheeler, Mr. Wheeler, Mr. Wheeler. Remember at the beginning I said this isn't a trial?
This is Ramel.
Okay.
Are we through, Your Honor?
I need to
I'm
get
thinking this case is from last year when I had got caught with the $1,000 bond. I paid that bond to get out. So why didn't I get the information in the mail and my identity being stolen? Have the person went to the post office and got a box and also received the information with me coming down here to know about my court date?
Mr. Wheeler, do you know who you can ask that question to a lawyer that I'm willing to appoint to represent you.
I don't have any money. Yesterday he took your money and my ID for you today.
Okay, Mr. Wheeler, I just met you for the first time.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you, and you can choose to have that lawyer help you or not. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 13th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. I'm placing a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from Patricia Crenshaw, which, because you said you don't know her, that should be very easy to do, okay? Mr. Wheeler, you're free to go back, sir. Who is the next individual?
Cummings.
Cummings?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Cummings, you've been charged with 1 count of battery as a second offense, 1 count of possession of a firearm, actually 2 counts of possession of firearm by convicted felon. So I've set a total bond of $30,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm putting a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Latoya King.
Understood.
Okay, your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 14th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Okay, sir, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No. Right.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Walker, Mr. Bernstein, there's a person that just came on that says Quitas. Is that a witness that either one of you have in your case?
That is Marquita Brown, Your Honor. That is Mr. Shepard's girlfriend.
Is she gonna be a witness today?
She is only to establish his ties to the community in case.
Mr. Bernstein, so that's a yes, she's a witness today.
Yes, perhaps. I also.
And the only reason I'm asking, and I'm sorry for being short, because I got a calendar that I've got to get through. If she's going to be a witness, I'm going to allow her to stay on. I'm going to mute her.
Okay.
And when we come to your client, we'll deal with that. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Who's the next person? I'm sorry, sir. Tell me your last name again.
Star.
Star.
It says Shab on the paperwork, Your Honor, but it's
Yeah.
Star.
And who's the last person, just so I can pull that paperwork now?
That's it, Your Honor.
Okay, Star is going to be the last one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Starr, sir, you're charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce and 1 count of possession or use of drug-related objects. I'm setting a total bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yeah.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 13th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, did he say yes or no? Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Starr. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir? Okay, you're free to go back. Okay, so the next person is going to be Mr. Martinez. I understand that your true and correct name is not Mr. Martinez. Is that correct, sir?
Hola, señor, buenos días. Tengo entendido que su nombre correcto y verdadero no es señor Martínez. ¿Así es, señor? Yes.
You are Solomon.
José de Jesús.
Okay. So you're not Solomon Escarrero?
Entonces, ¿usted no es Solemán Escarrero? No.
Okay, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of driving on a suspended license, 1 count of having no license, and 1 count of giving a false name, address, or date of birth.
Bueno, señor, a usted se le acusa, hay una infracción de manejar con la licencia suspendida o revocada, una infracción de conducir sin licencia y una infracción de dar un nombre falso o fecha de nacimiento falsa.
I've set a total bond of $3,500. Do you believe you can pay that bond?
Su fianza total será $3,500. ¿Piensa que va a poder pagar la fianza para salir, señor? Yes.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 13th at 8:30 in the morning.
Su audiencia preliminar se señala para el 13 de julio a las 8:30 de la mañana.
That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail.
Esta audiencia se renunciará una vez que sale bajo fianza y le notificará de la próxima audiencia judicial por correo. Okay.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Quisiera, señor, que yo determine si usted cumple los requisitos para un abogado de oficio. No, thank you.
Finally, Mr. Martinez, you should be aware that the allegation is that they ran your fingerprints, and when they ran your fingerprints, the name of Solomon Escarrero came up.
Por último, señor, usted debería saber que ellos rastrearon sus huellas dactilares y al hacer eso salió que su nombre verdadero era Solomon Escarrera.
That is something that you may want to look into when you bond out.
Eso es algo que usted posiblemente debería de investigar una vez que sale en libertad bajo fianza.
You're free to go back, sir.
Ya se puede retirar. Gracias, señor.
The next person is Wilfredo Melgarejo.
Señor Wilfredo Melgarejo.
Sounds so much better coming from you, Ms. Tolles. Sir, can you hear and understand the interpreter?
Bueno, señor, ¿usted puede entender y oír a la intérprete? Yes.
Sir, you've been charged with one count of pandering.
Bueno, señor, a usted se le acusa de una sola acusación de lenocenio o alcahuetería.
I've set the bond at $1,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
La fianza está en $1,000. ¿Piensa que puede pagar la fianza para salir, señor? Yes.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 13th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out.
Su audiencia preliminar se señala para el 13 de julio a las 8:30 de la mañana. Pero si sale en libertad bajo fianza, esta audiencia se renunciará.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Quisiera que yo determine si usted cumple los requisitos para un abogado de oficio, señor. I don't understand.
You have the right to be represented by a lawyer. You don't have to have a lawyer, but you have that right.
Usted tiene derecho a ser representado por un abogado. No tiene que tener un abogado, pero sí tiene ese derecho.
If you want me to appoint a lawyer and you qualify for a lawyer, I will appoint a lawyer.
Si usted quiere que yo le nombre un abogado y usted cumple los requisitos para uno, entonces le nombraré un abogado.
But it's totally up to you.
Pero la decisión es completamente suya. Okay, thank you.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Quisiera que yo determine si usted cumple los requisitos para un abogado, señor. Yes.
Are you currently working, sir?
¿Está trabajando actualmente, señor?
No.
No.
Okay, sir, you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Bueno, señor, así cumple los requisitos, le nombraré un abogado de oficio.
Do you have any questions of me?
¿Alguna pregunta para mí, señor? Your Honor, I am so sorry, but I'm having difficulty hearing. It may just be because he's using a mask, or perhaps the audio is a little low. Do you mind if I ask him to speak up?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay. Señor, si sería tan amable de hablar un poco más alto, con la mascarilla es algo difícil de entender. I don't have a job. I'm not working. I don't know about paying the bond now.
Okay, sir, I set the bond at $1,000 because that's the lowest amount that a bonding company will write a bond for.
Bueno, señor, yo le impuse una fianza de $1,000 porque es la cantidad más baja. Es la cantidad más baja que una compañía de fianzas tramitaría su fianza.
I'm sorry, Ms. Toll. There's someone that's just logged on and their name is Max. Is that another witness, Mr. Bernie?
I want to see if you're on your
Because
toes.
this person, I'm going to have to mute this person, and I'm
That's
about
a
to remove
potential
this
witness, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. So, Mr. Bernstein, any other witness that you're going to have on here today?
No, sir.
If you're giving this link out and there's a witness, please let them know that this is court.
Okay,
Even though it's on a camera, it's court.
will do.
So they're going to need to, if they're logged in, they're going to need to mute themselves and they're going to need to be respectful. I heard all kind of background stuff going on with this person that is inappropriate for court.
Understood.
I'm sorry, Ms. Tolles.
That's fine, Your Honor.
So, sir, I can reduce this bond to $500, but that means you'll have to pay this amount out of pocket.
Disculpe, señor. Yo puedo reducir su fianza a $500, pero eso significa que tendría que pagarlo de su bolso.
I set the bond at $1,000, which means that if you go through a bonding company, you'll probably pay $150 to the bonding company.
Yo le impuse la fianza a $1,000 porque eso significa que si usted utiliza una compañía de fianzas, probablemente tendrá que pagar 150 para que ellos tramiten su fianza.
Would you like for me to reduce it to $500, but you will have to pay it out of pocket, or do you want me to keep it at $1,000 where you can go through a bonding company?
Quisiera que yo lo reduzca, señor, a $500 para que usted lo pague de su bolso, o prefiere que lo deje en 1,000 para que lo tramite a través de una compañía de fianzas. Thank you. I'll pay the $500.
Okay. I'm going to reduce your bond to $500.
Bueno, señor, voy a reducir su fianza a $500.
Is there anything else, sir?
¿Algo más, señor? That's all. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Muy bien, señor. Ya se puede retirar. Gracias.
Mr. Narino?
Señor Narino?
Mr. Narino, sir, you're charged with 2 counts of trafficking. I'm sorry, 2 counts of possession with intent to distribute of ketamine.
Bueno, señora, a usted se le acusa. Hay 2 delitos de tenencia de sustancias ilícitas con la intención de distribuirlas. Se trata de ketamina.
I've set a total bond of $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yo le impuse una fianza total de $10,000. ¿Piensa que va a poder depositar la fianza y salir, señor? Yes.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 14th at 8:30 in the morning.
Su audiencia preliminar se señala, señor, para el 14 de julio a las 8:30 de la mañana.
The date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail.
Al salir bajo fianza de la cárcel, esta audiencia se renunciará automáticamente y le mandará a notificar de la nueva audiencia por correo.
Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Quisiera, señor, que yo determine si usted cumple requisitos para un abogado de oficio. Yes.
Okay, sir, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Bueno, señor, usted sí cumple los requisitos para el abogado. Le voy a designar uno. ¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta para mí? Yes.
What's your question, sir?
¿Cuál es su pregunta? I apologize, Your Honor. I cannot understand what he is saying. Do you mind if I ask him to lower his mask briefly?
Yes, could you speak up, please?
¿Puede hablar algo más fuerte, señor? Perdón. No entendí bien.
No tendría la plata los 10,000 completos. Si era posible bajar un poquito la
I
fianza.
would like to ask if you could possibly lower the bond. I don't have the full amount of the 10,000 to pay right now.
Well, sir, given the amount of the ketamine, 1,685 grams packaged into 4 large plastic bottles from a flight. I'm not willing to lower this. I believe this is reasonable.
Bueno, señor, considerando la cantidad de ketamina, 1,685 gramos empaquetados en 4 botellas grandes de plástico, para mí parece una fianza apropiada. No se la va a bajar. Okay.
Any other questions, sir?
¿Alguna pregunta más, señor?
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Está bien, señor, ya se puede retirar.
And Mr. Walker, we're going to come to you second because we have to switch from side to side. So since we're on the male side, we're going to stay on this side. Ms. Tolles, you're free to go, ma'am. Thank you for your assistance.
Your Honor, I just wanted to check before I signed off. There was not a Mr. Juarez that needed me by chance, or?
Deputies, would you ask if Jesus Juarez needs a translator?
He says he doesn't need an interpreter, Your Honor.
Okay, and I think there was a Mr. Javier. Is he also fine in English?
Javier. He said he's good.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day, ma'am.
Have a great day.
Mr. Bernstein, we're going to come to you with Mr. Shepard. That's on the male side. Jarvis Shepard.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So, Mr. Bernstein, I know you have these witnesses here, but he's charged with 63 pounds of marijuana. I can't set a bond for him. Anything over 10 pounds, I can't set a bond at this hearing.
Well, I was not aware of the amount. I was simply having the witnesses here to give his ties to the community. This is the first I'm hearing of the amount.
Yeah, the allegation is that he came from Seattle, Washington on flight 349, and he pulled 2 large bags off of carousel number 4, and total weight was 63 pounds, 63.28 pounds. So anything over 10 pounds is charged with trafficking.
Bondable by Superior Court.
Yep.
Okay. I will get with the district attorney on that then, Your Honor. Is there a
there's currently a preliminary hearing date set for July 14th at 8:30 in the morning. And there's a bond hearing date set for July 16th at 8:30 in the morning.
Okay, if I could get those dates again, please, Your Honor.
Sure. July 14th at 8:30 in the morning. Currently, it's going to be over Zoom, but that may change by then. I don't know. If it does, you will receive notice of that. And the bond hearing date is July 16th at 8:30 in the morning.
Okay, the prelims on the 14th, the bonds on the 16th.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
and
thank you.
I have probably like 5 of these on my calendar today. I don't know. I mean, from what I can see, the TSA know that this people, when they're getting on the plane, they know that people are getting on the plane with the marijuana and they let them fly here anyway. So law enforcement is normally waiting when they arrive.
Yeah, my understanding with this case is Mr. Shepard did not get on the plane, though. This was a retrieval of bags, but I mean, that's a factual question.
Right. Okay. Anything else, Mr. Bernstein?
That's it, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Who do you need next, Your Honor?
That'll be it for the male side. We're going to switch over to the female side. We're going to start with Miss Golden, and then I'll continue with them, and we'll come back. Mr. Walker,
Yes.
I believe you are in the same boat as it relates to Miss Golden. It's 21.8 pounds. And she was also on a flight from Seattle. So I can't set bond. If it's more than 10 pounds, I can't set bond at this here.
What I want Ms. Golden to know is that her son retained me to represent her.
Okay.
Just to hold on, we will file a motion for bond, and I will be out to the jail to see you.
Did you hear that, Miss Golden?
I did, thank you.
And
Speak to no one but me, okay? Tell them you have a lawyer, Mr. Walker, okay?
Yes, sir.
that's
Okay.
correct.
Thank you,
Her
Judge.
preliminary hearing dates also is going to be July 14th at 8:30 in the morning. And bond hearing is going to be July 16th at 8:30 in the morning. And you may be able to speak with the district attorney's office. They may consent to a bond. I don't believe, just like the majority of these people, do not have a criminal history.
Right.
This person, and this is, well, I don't know if you saw it or not, but whoever witnessed Mr. Bernstein, that person's trying to log back on. That's why I do not like when lawyers give out this link to just anybody.
Okay.
Ms. Golden, you have a good lawyer. Please follow his advice.
Are you coming today, sir?
It'll be tomorrow.
Yes,
Just
sir.
sit tight. I'm working with the DA right now, see if we can get you a bond. Just sit tight.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Mr. Walker, I'm sorry you had to sit here for so long.
Well, I understand, Judge. You know, it's I don't understand why the district attorney won't give the judges, the Superior Court clerk, to go ahead and put bonds on these cases.
I've been asking, and that may be something that we'll move towards in the future, but I've been asking to have a prosecutor here because there are things that can be worked out if there's a prosecutor here, rather than you got to try to track them down and they got to get the file and all of that other stuff. And
the sad part, Judge, is that the law is changing every day with this marijuana. And there's a big Supreme Court case that's coming out that says these people legally buying marijuana in other places. They get on a plane and it's legal. That's why they don't stop them.
Yep.
Because in Seattle and Colorado, they get on the plane and it's legal.
Yep.
So when does it get illegal? When they go across the sky? When they leave the jurisdiction? So the Supreme Court said, if you know that they going somewhere and they got a legal product, it's like interstate commerce. They got a legal product on them. How can you arrest them?
That, and I've made the argument or the belief that if these cases are going to be prosecuted in that way, the proper jurisdiction is federal court. It's not state court.
It's not state court because, and you said something very important. If they know that the person have marijuana when they get on that plane in Seattle, Colorado, or wherever, then why you don't take them off then?
Yep.
That's a federal, and the Fed's not going to deal with it because the Fed says it's legal.
Yep.
You know, so Judge, it's good to see you. Always my pleasure.
Good to see you too, sir. Have a good day.
You keep doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, let's go to Miss Banks.
Okay, Miss Banks.
Miss Banks, ma'am, you've been charged with one count of prostitution. The bond is set at $2,000. I'm going to give you the same benefit that I gave Mr. Lilgario. I can set this bond at $1,000, which means you can go through a bonding company and the bonding company will charge you a fee, or I can set it at $500. You have to pay the $500 out of pocket, but you'll get the money back when your case is resolved. Which do you prefer?
I have my dad pay it.
Either the bonding company or at $500. Bonding company at $1,000. They're out of pocket at $500.
The bond company.
Okay. So I'm gonna set this at $1,000. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for July 13th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Mr. Digital.
Okay, ma'am, you've been charged with 3 counts of child deprivation. I'm gonna set the bond at $500 a piece, so that'll be a total bond of $1,500. Now, you're being charged as a felony. I really don't believe this should be in this court. I think this should be in juvenile court.
Okay.
I don't have that authority though. It is technically a criminal offense, whether I agree with it or not. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for July 14th at 8:30 in the morning. It will get waived upon your bonding out though, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, sir. Will you please repeat the bond amount, please?
The total amount is gonna be $1,500.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're free to go back, ma'am. Are you Miss Diop?
Yes, sir, I am.
Ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, which is possession of THC oil. I've set the bond at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
This is a felony offense, so you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for July 14th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Sorry, Ryan.
Are you Miss Graham?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of simple battery. I've set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay, would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. We're going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from Roshonda Dalrymple. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I would encourage you, ma'am, to contact the bonding companies to see what they're willing to do. They will work with you. That is literally their only job. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Mr. Griggs.
Ms. Graves, you've been charged with 1 count of battery, 1 count of disorderly conduct, 1 count of theft of services. I've set your bond at $8,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Danica Coppridge. Do you understand that? And I know you probably don't know her, but that was her restaurant.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I'm also placing a stay away provision to stay away from 3570 Highway 138 Stockbridge, Georgia, also known as the 7 Club. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working, ma'am?
Yes, but no, it's not enough.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 13th at 8:30 in the morning. But that date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Ms. Holland?
Ms. Holland, you're charged with one count of driving a motor vehicle with a suspended registration, one count of possession with intent to distribute marijuana, which is a felony, and one count of possession of drug-related objects. I've set a total bond at $7,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 14th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Ms. Russell?
Ms. Russell, you've also been charged with battery, disorderly conduct, and theft of services. And I've also set your bond at $8,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
You're going to have a stay away provision on the bond, stay away from Danica Coppridge. That was the waitress. And you're also going to have a stay away provision to stay away from 3570 Highway 138, Stockbridge Road, which is also known as the 7 Club. Do you understand those two conditions?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 13th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Ms. Stewart?
Are you Ms. Stewart?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you've been charged with driving on a suspended license. It says operating a motor vehicle with a suspended registration and operating a vehicle without valid insurance. Your total bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
You said 3,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 13th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, I'm going to find that you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I have one question. When I first got booked in, they gave me a bond of 3,800, and you just told me 3,000. So how does that work as far as if my bond was already posted?
So there are fees that the sheriff's department is required by law to add to a bond. In the situation that you're in, these bonds are automatically set, which means they're set by schedule. So the sheriff's office, if you ask, they'll go ahead and tell you the amount with the bond and the fees. I don't have access to the fee schedule. So
Okay, so that's about right, 3,800.
Right, right.
Gotcha.
Okay, anything else, ma'am?
That'd be all.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Ms. K. Tom?
Ma'am, you've been charged with trafficking in marijuana. Because of the amount, I cannot set a bond on any allegation of possession of a marijuana more than 10 pounds. And the allegation here is 45.98 pounds. So I cannot set bond at this hearing. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 14th at 8:30 in the morning. I'm also setting a bond hearing date for July 16th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of lawyer?
When I make my phone call and get a lawyer, so can I do that? I'll get my,
Yes. So is your intent to hire your own lawyer?
yes.
Okay. So I'll just put down that you're going to hire your own lawyer.
Okay, thank you.
All right. You're free to go back, ma'am, unless you have any other questions.
No.
Okay. You're free to go back.
And Tom?
I don't have one.
Hey, Your Honor,
Yes.
Ms. K. Tong, she had a question for you in reference to her paperwork.
Hi, can I just get the public defender until I get an attorney because I don't have a phone number to call the resources I need to call.
Yes, ma'am, you do qualify. I will appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Okay.
And it will be from the public defender's office. And at the point that you decide to hire your own lawyer, just let them know. You can discharge them and go with your own retained lawyer.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And Tom?
Okay, ma'am, you're in the same boat, which I presume that's your sister. The allegation in your case is 40. I'm sorry, looking at your sister's. It's 43.34 pounds of marijuana, and I can't set a bond on anything over 10 pounds. So you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 14th at 8:30 in the morning. You're going to have a bond hearing date set for July 16th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's switch over to the male side. Is it Mr. Apollo?
Hello, yes.
Apollo. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of concealing the identification of a vehicle, 1 count of driving a tag on an expired or invalid license, and 1 count of driving a vehicle without a valid license. Your total bond is going to be set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Well, I can.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for July 13th at 8:30 in the morning. I would ask you to try to make contacts with the bonding companies to see if they're willing to work with you, because they will. So don't just resign yourself to sit here in jail because these charges are misdemeanor charges. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, Your Honor. I wonder if you can reconsider the bond.
So these bonds are set by schedule. When it breaks down, it's 500 for the concealing the ID, 500 for the tag, and 1,000 for the no license. If it was my preference, they would write people citations on this and you would appear in traffic court rather than being arrested. They could just, it costs more money to arrest you than it does to just give you a citation.
Very much so, Your Honor.
So because it's set by schedule, that means that a group of judges sat down and decided what they thought was the appropriate bond. So I'm not going to go behind it. Okay.
Yes,
Is
sir.
there anything else, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Order.
Oh, I'm sorry. Back. Just sit there. I'll call you up.
Are you Mr. Battle?
I am.
Do you know what you're charged with, sir?
I do.
I cannot set bond on this offense at this hearing, but I have set a preliminary hearing date for July 14th at 8:30 in the morning, and for July 16th at for bond hearing for July 16th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I already have a private attorney.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Battle?
I already have a date on the docket for June. They messed up with my fingerprints. That's why I'm doing this again.
Okay. Huh.
So
And it's the same charge?
same charges. June 7th and June 11th.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna make a notation on this. You said June 7th and June 11th?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna double check that, and so when I double check it, if that's correct, I'm going to put those dates down rather than the July dates, okay? Is there anything else, sir?
That's it.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Carter?
Yes, I have some. Yes.
Sir, do you know what you're charged with?
Yes, I have a.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
they said it so fast. I really don't know.
And so the reason I asked Mr. Carter is because we don't, you know, certain things we don't just, for lack of a better term, put people's business out in the street. So I asked that question just to make sure that you're aware of the charges, okay? I cannot set bond for this at this setting. I'm sorry?
I give a statement.
Well, let me ask, I'm sorry?
Can I make a statement is not of innocent or guilt or nothing like that?
I mean, I'm here to answer any question. And so when you say make a statement, I will allow you to say what it is that you want to say with the proviso that anything you say can be used against you.
Okay, that's no problem.
So what is it?
Okay, I'm committed of this community. I've been coaching 20 years, helping disabled, and I would just like to have a fair chance of getting a bond if I could go out and I'm not harm to anyone. I could take care of my situation, get a fair lawyer to fight these alleged allegations against me.
So Mr. Carter, it's not that I am denying this because I'm choosing to deny it. I'm denying it because I cannot set up. There are certain charges that I cannot set bond at the first appearance on.
Okay.
So you could be like the minister of 30 churches and I still would not be able to set bond. You could have every 5,000 people come in today and say great things about you. I still would not be allowed to set bond.
All right.
Okay.
Can I have a person to try to help me to get a bond? Okay, I'm gonna wait on your process. Tell me what I have to do next.
Okay, so you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for July 14th. You're gonna have a bond hearing date set for July 16th. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes. Can I ask for those dates be moved up in?
So the dates that I'm giving you are the dates that are set for this week. So everybody this week is getting these dates. Next week, they're going to be different dates. So the calendar, like the gentleman just said that he's already on a calendar, those calendars are already full and set. So your lawyer, and with these charges, if you have the ability, you may want to consider to hire a private lawyer, because this is a case where if there are things that are mitigating, your lawyer needs to be saying that to the district attorney, because they can consent to a bond a lot earlier than these dates. But there is somebody's going to have to be out there working on your behalf.
Okay.
So I'm appointing a lawyer, but you may want to consider hiring a lawyer if you have the ability to do so.
Okay, the lawyer you appoint, would he come talk to me?
They're supposed to. I don't know when.
All right.
Okay. All right. So you're free to go back. Mr. Coleman, you're charged with 1 count of driving on a suspended license and 1 count of theft by receiving motor vehicle, or theft by taking motor vehicle. I've set your total bond at $21,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No, I can't, sir. And I ain't trying to run everything to you, but it wasn't a theft by receiving. It was my car. I just put my girlfriend out Friday night and she reported my car stolen Saturday. And the officer talked to the car lot and they explained to him that is my vehicle. They just, I just put in her name because she had Georgia driver license. If you see the report, he clearly talked to the car lot people. So if I can get just a little lower, man, I'm 50 years old. I go to work, man, 6 days a week.
Well, I think if I recall,
my car.
No. If I recall, one of the factors that I took into consideration was criminal history.
Right, sir. Yes.
So that is why this is between a $10,000 and $20,000 bond on theft by taking or theft by receiving. I hear what you're saying, but this is not the time for me to make a determination as to any of that stuff. But also, if the car was in her name, it is her car.
Right, I understand totally.
Yeah. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
And if, you say how much the bond was?
$21,500.
You say 21,000? 2,100?
Okay, 1,500 for the driving on a suspended license and 20,000 for the theft by taking motor vehicle.
Sir, I didn't take it. It was at my house. I've been going to work every day. I just put her.
I hear, Mr. Coleman. I hear you. I'm not saying you took it or not. I'm setting the bond on it. If I thought you were guilty, I'd be sentencing you to jail right now, right?
Kind of high bond though, right?
Yes.
But something I didn't. All right. Ain't nothing I can say.
So, Mr. Coleman, based upon what you said, we're here because you placed the car in your girlfriend's name and she got pissed at you and called the police on you. Did I do any of that?
No, sir. She's living in my
Okay. I just want to make sure. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 14th at 8:30 in the morning. And as I told you before, Mr. Coleman, the factors were your criminal history and the allegation. Okay. Those are the factors that I consider when I set the bond.
How much would that be to get out of jail on a bond like that?
For this, it'll probably be $2,000.
Good Lord, man, I'm gonna lose my job. I'll be a good year. God.
Mr. Coleman.
I lose a lot.
Mr. Coleman.
Yes, sir.
I do hear what you're saying. I do. I have no way of proving any of the stuff that you're saying to me.
I understand that, but if you have the police report in front of you, you'll see that he talked to the people at the lot and they explained to him that that was my vehicle.
Hold on. Let me read to you what I have before you, okay?
Yes, sir.
It said that you drove an Infiniti G35X Georgia tag number TAR 4663 on Soft Lake Cove Court near Jonesboro. The officer, please, you asked me.
Okay, go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
The officer says, I had prior knowledge that the vehicle was reported stolen to the Clayton County Police Department. Case number 210-29725 on 5/22/21. Clayton County Police Department list said the offender, Johnny Coleman, the suspect who stole the vehicle. Upon observing the vehicle, the said offender observed my patrol vehicle and exited the vehicle in an attempt to flee on foot. The said offender was placed in custody. The Clayton County Police Department confirmed the vehicle stolen. The vehicle is worth approximately $9,000. I ran the said offender's name through GCIC, NCIC, and I revealed the said offender's driver's license is suspended for failure to appear on April 12th, 2019. Those are the factors that I took into consideration, plus your criminal history. Mr. Coleman.
I don't have license, sir. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They wrote me up for suspended. I never had license in my life. And then two,
Mr. Coleman, I don't care. You don't care about the suspended license. You don't care. You said it's the car, then the bond. So now why are we talking about suspended license?
And I wasn't trying to flee. I got out the car with my paperwork in my hand, sir. Trying to school. That's all. But I'm too old to run. I don't run from police.
All right. Tell your lawyer all of that so your lawyer can help you, okay? Mr. Crisp? Mr. Chris, sir, you're charged with having THC oil and a tenant window violation. I've set a total bond of $2,000. You believe you can post that bond? The THC oil is a felony offense, so that means you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 14th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Is it okay if I say no right now and then change my mind once I talk to my parents?
Yes, you'll just have to reapply.
Yes, sir. Because I think I already have one. That's why I don't want to say yes and I get another one. I think I already have one. I think my mom already has one.
Oh, okay. Is there anything else?
Oh, okay.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
When I bought my car, if the tint was already that dark, that's on me to get it changed?
Did you buy it from a dealership or you bought it from someone off the street?
I bought it from a dealership, sir.
The dealership should have a some kind of notification as it relates to the tint. If it wasn't in the car, you should contact the dealership as it relates to that.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Mr. Johnson, are you Samuel Johnson?
No, sir. I'm Jesus Suarez.
Okay, give me 1 second, sir. Is Mr. Johnson OTB?
He just brought it up. Yes, sir.
Okay. He just bonded out?
As far as I know of, Deputy Long got an OTB on here.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Juarez, sir, you're charged with carrying a pistol without a license and disorderly conduct. You're gonna have a total bond set at $4,500. Do you believe you can post that bond? You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for July 13th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? How much do you make per hour?
Well, right now I'm making 14 an hour, but since I've been in a lot of problems, so I'm not gonna lie to you, I haven't really been working, but I got some money stashed, so.
Okay, I'm gonna find that you qualify, sir. And I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Mitchell.
Okay, Mr. Mitchell, so you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, damage to property. Excuse me, I've set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from looks like the Goria dollar. Do you understand that?
Yeah, like we don't even talk.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, and like we haven't talked in like 2-3 years.
Okay. This warrant, just so you know, is from February, it looks like, of 2020.
Yeah, and like
Yeah, it's from February 2020. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry? Okay, looks like you make a little bit too much.
That's all commission on hourly at now. The rest of it,
You said you're $9 an hour?
yeah, at hour.
Okay.
Like the rest is just strictly commission if I make money or if I don't.
Okay. I'm gonna find that you qualified the $9 an hour point. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that is gonna be set for July 13th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you will get a new court date in the mail. Would you like, or do you have any other questions for me?
No.
Okay, you're free to go back. Are you Mr. McGill? Sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal, I'm sorry?
I didn't hear you.
Okay. You're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Bond has been set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? You're gonna have a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Amanda Grant. Do you understand that? Your preliminary hearing date is currently set for July 13th. Excuse me, at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. McGill. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, that's it.
Okay, you're free to go back. You're Mr. Palmer. You're charged with 1 count of simple battery. I set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Is there any way you could lower it? I'm here. Like,
I have taken into consideration the allegations. I would normally set this at $5,000. This is something that it says that you apparently says that you didn't strike, or you didn't believe you struck the gate agent. Hey, I'll tell you what I'll do, Mr. Palmer. I'm gonna set this at $1,500. How about that?
all right, can I pay out of pocket?
Yes, sir.
All right, I don't have any family or anything like that, so I can pay out of my property that they have there.
Okay. And you are from out of state. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 13th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Palmer. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
So how does the bailout process work? It's my first time bailing out.
Okay, so you can pay the entire amount of the bond in cash.
I know that.
Okay. So the people there at the jail, they do this every day. They're the ones that you would ask about that. I can tell you what I've heard. I've never bonded out of jail either. I've never bonded anybody else out of jail.
I never had to bond out of jail. You know, I'm not no criminal. Like, look, I didn't get locked up over a year. You know what I'm saying? I was just traveling and I had a mishap.
Right.
But I'm just
So
right now.
Right. So when you leave here, I fill out this paperwork and I send it back, and everything gets entered into the system. Once it's entered into the system, you can bond out at that point. So I like to tell people, The longer you and I sit here and talk, the longer you're going to be in jail, because the longer it's going to take me to get the paperwork complete.
Never been to this job specifically. Every job got they told me different. So I can speak to somebody, right?
Yes, sir.
All right,
James Plow.
Mr. Plow, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. I set the bond at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No, Your Honor, I mean, yes, but I would like to see if I can possibly have it lower. And I wanted to see if I could possibly go on my own reconnaissance because, I haven't, having any charges in 10 years. I have 2 sons and one of my sons was in the house at the time, my youngest son, and he's in the care of one of my training partners. So,
Okay. So the way that the process would work is I would have to get approval from my chief, which means that I would have to reset your case to tomorrow. And then we would go over your criminal history and she would make the decision as to whether she's going to grant the OR bond or not. It's very unusual that she grants an OR bond. So you'll be taking a chance that you're going to sit in jail another night for something that's not going to happen. The criminal trespass, there's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from Jasmine McLemore.
I mean, I understand, Your Honor. I was just saying mainly for the simple fact that I think that you have to have somebody in the state that has a job over 2 years.
Okay, hold on. Let me stop you. I'm going to lower this bond to $1,500. Okay. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond, stay away from Jasmine McLemore. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 13th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. One of the factors that I consider in lowering this is the allegation is that you broke a wine glass during an argument. That still constitutes the offense of criminal trespass. I don't understand what's going on. Probably sometimes half my calendar is this, people getting in arguments and this kind of stuff. So in the future, sir, just leave.
I understand. I'm actually in the process of moving to Arizona in the next 12 hours. So.
Okay. So I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. I've given you your preliminary hearing date. Is there anything else, sir?
I haven't been able to make a phone call to anybody.
You're gonna be allowed to use the phone after this proceeding. Okay. Anything else?
No, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. You're free to go back. Mr. Scott.
Yes.
Mr. Scott, so you're charged with 1 count of entering an automobile and 1 count of theft by taking. I've set a total bond of $12,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 14th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I said July what?
13th at 8:30 in the morning. But that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir. But is that the thing that you could give me? You said how much you said? How much money did you say?
There's $10,000 for the entering automobile and $2,000 for theft by taking, a total bond of $12,000.
And you couldn't lower nothing?
No.
Oh man. Could I plead innocent and guilty because it was a situation with that?
Don't tell you case.
It was a situation with that. And
I can't take a plea at this proceeding. If you want to plead guilty, first time you meet with your lawyer, tell your lawyer you want to plead guilty. They'll put you on a plea calendar and it'll be over. Okay?
And I would have to pay anything, right?
No, sir. Well, I mean, if they want to fine you upon pleading guilty, but that's something you and your lawyer will be negotiating with the district attorney about.
Okay, well, yeah, I think you can put me on a lawyer.
Okay. All right. So make sure you tell your lawyer that, okay? All right. You're free to go back, sir.
Yes, Stevens.
Mr. Stevens, sir, you're charged with loitering or prowling, violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of weapon during the commission of a crime, carrying a concealed weapon without a license, and obstructing an officer. I've basically set bonds at $5,000 a piece for each charge, except for the loitering or prowling, where the bond is going to be set at $1,000. So you're gonna have a total bond of $21,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
How many charges did it say?
5.
Uh, 21.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 14th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you have any questions of me?
So you can't go any lower on the bond, sir?
No, sir. All right, you're free to go back.
Stowers.
Mr. Stowers, sir, you're charged with 1 count of driving on an expired license. The bond is set by schedule, which means it's automatically set at $500. It'll be a little bit higher because of the fees that the sheriff's department has to add, but I don't have access to that fee schedule. Do you believe you can post this bond?
I think my wife already went through the bond a couple days, right?
Okay. So when you go back, they're probably going to tell you your bond has been posted and you'll be on your way out. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 13th, but once you're bond out, that date is going to get changed to a new date and you'll receive that in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No.
Okay. You're free to go back unless you have any questions for me.
No, sir, thank you.
Okay, you're free to go back.
How you doing, Your Honor? This Skylar Williams.
Mr. Williams, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, damage to property. I set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yeah, but I was, trying to consider if you can take it a little lower, but I understand how life goes, just learn from your mistakes and stuff like that.
I'm sorry, say that again, sir.
No, I said, it's not a, the $3,000 problem. I was just trying to see if you can reconsider, but I guess I learned from my mistakes and just.
Yes.
Okay.
Just leave. Just leave. You ain't got to break anything. Just leave. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond, stay away from Deja Nelson. Do you understand that? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 13th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
How much do you make per hour?
Right now, currently I make, believe it or not, 14 or 15, yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir. You said a lawyer. If you don't mind me asking. You said a lawyer. You the lawyer for me?
Yes, I appointed a lawyer to represent you.
Okay. Okay. So I do have a bond though, right? Correct?
Yes, sir. $3,000.
Because I'm gonna leave. I got somebody like my mom right now working on trying to bond me up right now. So, okay, you know what? Yeah. All right. Have a good one, sir.
You too. Mr. Xavier, sir, you're charged with 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. I'm gonna set it was barely more than an ounce of marijuana. I'm gonna set your bond at $2,000. You believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for July 14th at 8:30 in the morning because anything over an ounce of marijuana is considered a felony. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
All right, you do qualify, Mr. Xavier. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Morning,
All right. Thank you for your assistance. Today was an unusual day, an interesting day.
Better than yesterday, huh?
Yes, it was. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right.